Welcome back, everyone. We're here with another episode of Who Is. It's been a while since I've posted this. I've just been having a bunch of stuff happen, and some people haven't been able to come on. But today we have a special guest. He is the last person of the All In podcast that I've been wanting to talk to, and I'm glad that we were able to connect today. And he's on here to talk. And so I'm going to start with the first question. Who are you?
Well, my name's Alastar. Playing League for a while. Currently play collegiate. Playing amateur for a while.
Nice, nice. And so that kind of actually like leads into the first question of like what made you get into gaming and I guess specifically League of Legends.
Kind of weird answer because honestly, I kind of have a very different experience, and I think a lot of people with it. I got into League through the very standard, friend introduced me to it and I started playing it.
Right.
I've been playing pretty much since Jinx release, but kind of just like played casually up until about 6 months into COVID. Um, for me personally, I grew up doing a lot of traditional sports, martial arts. I played rugby and soccer, and
Oh,
I
dope.
was always outside playing road hockey, football,
Right.
whatever with friends. Did karate and jiu-jitsu. I never really played much games. I mean, I had like a Wii, so I played a lot of Wii Sports kind of thing. But never really played anything competitively because my life was kind of taken up by my traditional sports that I did play,
Right.
and just kind of played League on the side for fun. Didn't really take it too seriously. Then into COVID, um, had a lot more time on my hands and couldn't train as much. Obviously, couldn't play rugby, couldn't go to the gym, couldn't do karate, jiu-jitsu, any of that I normally did.
Right.
So I started playing a lot more League, and that's kind of when I started to, actually try and. I started playing the game more to like try and learn it, try and get better at it, rather than just time sink between athletics.
Right. And I guess I kind of see that you have that competitive spirit in you because of that, because of the traditional sports and not being able to do anything competitive can really be detrimental to you because I personally play traditional sports too. I'm currently in some right now. I play flag football, like rec football and rec softball. And so being competitive and being active is I definitely feel that. And even though league isn't active, you're still activating your brain and stuff, and you're still competing, and you're trying to compete at a high level. So I definitely understand that for sure. I'm actually glad you got into it because I'm pretty sure you made masters one
Yeah,
year, correct? Right?
yeah,
What?
I'm
How was
pretty
that?
consistently masters. Sorry, say again.
So say, how was that grind? Like, what was your first initial rank, and then like, why? Like, I know you said during COVID you wanted to reach out, but was there like a certain goal? Did you want to get challenger, or was it like I'm gonna get diamond and then kind of stay there? Or I'm like, then you're like, oh wait, I think I can reach master and grandmaster. What do you think?
So it all kind of fell from when I started playing League competitively. Over COVID, quick story on that is I started playing. I played against this guy who had like god tier game on Blitzcrank. We were both
Mm-hmm.
D4 at the time. Added him and we duoed a bunch. Funny tidbit: I one time when Yumi got buffed, he said my best champ just got buffed. We're gonna win so many more games. I almost removed him. Glad I didn't because he actually a couple weeks later invited me to try out for his amateur team
Oh,
uh,
sweet.
in Lotus, which you've heard me speak about before.
Mm-hmm.
And they had never had a diamond team before. They wanted to make one, and he wanted me to try out, so I did. Ended up running with that, and ended up getting a collegiate offer. I'm still there, and it was kind of through playing competitive where I started to look at it. It's like, maybe I can actually climb, because I was pretty much like constantly D3, D4 for a while. I had hit um I'd hit Masters. There's a timer in season 9 I was 1 win away from Challenger, but I never really took it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And once I started playing competitive, and there's casters hyping me up, teammates hyping me up, like it kind of made me think, you know what, maybe I should give this a shot. It's not like I had anything better to do, right?
Right. No, that's actually kind of glad to hear, and I'm glad you're still pursuing that. That's awesome. I hope you reach Challenger one day, because
That is the
Challenger
goal.
is that's a huge achievement. Back before there was like Masters and like Grandmasters, before they had those ranks, I actually had a buddy that made it to Challenger once, but he obviously lost it because he had to go to school and stuff. So you have those people that are playing all day. He reached Challenger once. But like I said, that was before there was Masters, Grandmaster. You know what I mean? So it was a
Yeah.
little bit easier to reach Challenger. And to hear that you were one way away from it, that's actually pretty phenomenal. Because there's only like, what is it, 300 people that make Challenger? What is it?
Yeah, it's 300 now. Back then it was 200. So
Okay.
I was top like 220 ish at the time.
Oh, that's shitty. So they changed. That's crazy. Hey, but at least you know you can make it. You know what I mean? At least you know
Yeah, I can
you're
get
there.
back. I mean, here at school, I've got a good team. I've got good structure to help me actually get better. And that's kind of what we're working towards.
I do want to stay on this league kind of topic. What made you like sign up? Because I remember talking to League Dad that he put out a thing on Reddit. What made you read that Reddit post and say, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot and try to join the All In podcast?
Um, there wasn't really any one reason, to be honest. It was just kind of I opened up Reddit one day. I think I was just chilling in my room between games or something like that, and I decided to sort by new, which I don't do very often because I don't use my phone very much, to be honest.
Right.
And the first post I saw was League Dad posting that. Just he said looking for D2 plus player for like analysis podcast, and I said, why not? Down doesn't risk versus reward. There's really no risk, and sounds like enough fun. May as well give it a shot. And that was back when All In Podcast was kind of two different things. There was the pro scene one with Kevin and Mitchell, and then there was kind of like a solo queue improvement based one that was League Dad, a guy named British Poro, and I. And eventually, British Poro dropped out. He had a bunch of personal things. I think he was going through school. He didn't have the time, and that kind of put that on the back burner because it was just League Dad and I, so it didn't really work very well. And then he asked me if I wanted to merge in with Kevin, Mitchell, and him, and that's kind of where I've been since.
Sweet. No, yeah, I love your guys' podcast, and I love the dynamic you guys have. You guys are all very knowledgeable and respectable of each other. So it's definitely been a good podcast to listen to. If you guys do enjoy League of Legends content and you guys want to listen to me, I do urge you guys to go listen to the All In podcast. They're very good gentlemen. They actually interviewed Azale. I was the one that set them up for that. That was awesome. If you go check that out too, because that was a great interview. But how has it been like trying to hold all three of the personal life, podcast, and like team and league dynamic? How is that? How are you able to balance all of that?
To be honest with you, it hasn't been very difficult for me. Um, it's just kind of been going with the flow, really. Team things generally is just I have a set time, and I'm pretty clear between things that can change and things that can't change.
Mm-hmm.
So like when we're setting up times for the podcast, like I'm pretty clear, like, hey, I have classes these times, I'm scrimming these times. Or if there's only one day where we can podcast, I'll say to my team like, hey, I can't really do this time. Could we like do a different time this day, or could we have this day off? And it's generally been pretty easy to work around. There hasn't been much difficulty aside from last couple months. It's been pretty hectic for all four of us in the podcast, but yeah, it honestly hasn't been that bad. It's been pretty. Everyone's been pretty accepting on all fronts for me, which has been very nice. I know it's much harder for a lot of people.
Right. No, and that's awesome. And yeah, it's been kind of like a weird 4 months for just I feel like league in general. Like we've just gone what now 2 weeks without like any league or anything. Usually there's
Yeah.
like something going on. I know there's usually a wait before Worlds, but I feel like this is the longest wait we've had before Worlds for any like league or whatever. I know that we have the is it? I know it's Golden Guardians versus
BDS.
BDS. Okay. Do we know when that is? I know like we know, but I forget what day it is.
Yeah, I believe it's. I can double check. I believe it's like it's early October. It is on the 9th,
The
Monday the
ninth,
9th.
Monday the night. Oh, because then play-ins start literally the next day. Oh,
Yes,
okay, okay.
that's
Well,
correct.
October 9th, damn, that's still like kind of far away. Like, like I think what LCS finals finished August like 20th or something like that. Like, it's
Something
it,
like that, yeah.
it's been a while, but I'm glad that you guys were able to still make content and that you're able to work with your team and also the All In podcast. That's awesome to hear. What have been some kind of like downfalls of your LCS or not LCS but league kind of career? Has there been any like stumps in the road that have caused you to like backtrack a little bit, or has it been just kind of you're gonna get that stump and you're gonna remove it type stuff and you keep going forward?
Um, it's kind of there hasn't really been any major drawbacks, to be honest. It's just been kind of aside from like the normal stuff, moving from Canada to South Carolina. Obviously, I'm gonna have a couple weeks and I'm gonna get rusty, so I'll need a couple weeks to get back to form.
Right.
But generally, it's fairly. I wouldn't say it's an easy path. It's very, very trudging through the mud type deal, where you just kind of have to push through it, and it's difficult and it can certainly be painful. Solo queue is never fun,
No.
but you know, it's it's rough, but it's not difficult. But I wouldn't call it excruciating or painful. It's a grind. There's no way to get through it other than just to do it.
Right. And what kind of like steps have you taken for yourself that you think can like put you to the next level? Like, what do you think? What do you think you can do to get to like an academy team, or I know they don't really have academy teams anymore, but like to get into that challenger scene, what do you think you can do?
I think the big thing for me personally is one of my biggest issues and flaws as a person is I am terrible at asking for help. Um, and that's one thing that my team has talked to me about, where they they want to help me get better. They want me to get better, and because we want to push for top 8 in CLOL,
Mm-hmm.
especially because I'm guessing most people haven't seen it. My top laner, for people who don't know, which is probably most people, is Surdy. Formerly top laner for EGC and TLF. One of the best top laners outside of LCS and probably including some LCS teams. And our goal as a team really is to push top 8. I mean, end goal we'd all love to win CLOL.
Mm-hmm.
We have a while to go, and I think it's just kind of working with my team, trying to like push each other, like, keep each other accountable, and just get better as a team and individuals.
When is this next tournament? Is there any way we can watch it?
Um, so we currently play in NECC. It's generally on Thursdays. We're not always on stream. We do also play in a tournament at ISU on the 21st and 22nd of October, where we will occasionally be on stream throughout the day.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't think there's anything major for a while.
Okay. I know they have like worlds and stuff, so like there's going to be a lot of main focus on that. So I know like not a lot of huge tournaments are going to come up. But when do you usually see the most league tournaments or most amount of people playing or trying to grind? Is it during the winter during preseason? Is it during summer or what do you think?
Um, I think it's fairly consistent throughout the year, to be honest. And I think this year, since there's not, my understanding is there's not really going to be a preseason. It's just going to go right into the next season. I think that the grind's going to stay pretty consistent for most people. I think if there is a peak, it's definitely at the end where people are really trying to push out that extra 100, 150 LP, whatever it is, to get to the rank they want. The Diamond 2 players are trying to get Masters by the end of the season. The Masters players are trying to get Grandmaster, and so on. So I think that's probably the main peak where you see more and more people grinding, trying to be, no lifing the last couple weeks.
Right.
But usually it's pretty consistent, I'd say.
Okay. I got like two or three more questions here for you. This one is like, where do you want to see yourself in like the next year or two? Like, if dream scenario, you're working your hardest, where do you think you could push yourself to be in the next year or two? Where would you like to be at least?
Truthfully, I don't know. It's been a very different year for me so far. Even just the last month has been very, very different. Because like I went to my first LAN recently.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like LAN that matters pretty much in Harrisburg for onto HughFest, and there was 8 league teams, and pretty much all of them were top 8 league teams. And before then, I was a random. I wasn't really anyone. I'm not fully like a made man yet in these tournaments, but I'm kind of growing. Like people are starting to like recognize, and I'm starting to build some respect on my name. And I think the main thing for me is I just want to build up that respect, and like even if it doesn't lead to going LCS or whatever, or I make a career out of League, just having the respect of people is what I mainly strive for.
Okay, and that's very respectable because I definitely understand that. You know, when you're trying hard for something, you want to be respected for it, and you want to show that, hey, I'm not just some scrub. I can actually bring forth to the table, and I know that you can. So just from talks from I think it was Mitchell. I know he said he was on a team with you before, if I'm not mistaken, or tried to be.
We were in the same org. I got him on a team, like one of the lower ranked teams in the org. We weren't on the same team.
Oh, okay, okay. But I just know that uh, you putting your name and trying to help out someone else like that shows your character. And I know that with that character, you're going to grow to, hopefully an LCS team will see you and see your talent. And you can have a path during that. And so I have this final question, and it's kind of backtrack on you saying that you don't really ask people for help. But is there anything that I could possibly do for you, sir, to help your career or help spread your name out a little bit more? Is there anything you want to leave with the viewers? Just anything in general?
I think the biggest thing is just keep watching the podcast. If people are interested, I can put in streams when we're playing on streams in the Discord. Come around, just watch the podcast, watch these streams. Just kind of pay attention. Not just me. Like obviously, League Dad, Kevin, Mitchell, like they're great guys. When they're doing other stuff, I'd love for other people to support them. But for me personally, just come around. Just kind of be there. It feels great to just have people who support you and what you do, and I think that's just the biggest thing for really any of us. The four of us aren't in it for money. We do it because we enjoy it. We do it for the game, and have seeing people who support us and want us to continue what we're doing is honestly like that's great. That's why we do it.
Okay. Well, I will do my best to spread that news of the streams and the podcast like I've been doing. I'll try to get some more special guests for you guys, stuff like that.
That'd be great. It'd be
And
amazing.
uh, I'll do my best to make sure that everyone succeeds. That's just what I do. I'm trying to become a networker. So if you guys want to support him, please go check in the All In podcast. Do you have any like social accounts that people can come personally follow you and find stuff, or?
Yeah, I do. I can send them to you and put them in the description or
Okay, we'll put them in
whichever
the
you used.
yeah, we'll put them in the description, and I'll make sure to get that all out. I want you guys all to thank Alastar for coming on and doing this podcast, or not podcast, this interview with me. This is another episode of Who Is. Thank you guys all for watching, and peace.